Good morning. It's Sunday, the 16th of September. I thought it was August for a minute. September 2018. Welcome to Bracknell and this morning's United Kingdom talk. Hope you're well. Just a little apology from yesterday to Wendy, actually, who we were talking about which was my most watched video. And I thought it was the Barry Manilow video that I did in Cardiff about a year and a half ago. No, and she said it was the O2, and I thought, oh no, I'm sure it's the Cardiff one. Nope, I was incorrect. Incorrect. It was indeed the Barry Manilow one I did at the O2. So sorry about that, Wendy. A public apology. I mean, where's all that going to end? What a shame we don't get that from politicians or people like that or people you complain to, isn't it? And also from yesterday, Simon Keane is back in the house. About time as well, Simon. Simon used to be a regular correspondent to the show when he was on Facebook, but he came off Facebook. He got fed up with it. I mean, there are some people on Facebook, and you must know who I mean here. I bet you've got some, well, we've all got different friends, haven't we? I bet you've got a few on your wall who every single post is something depressing. If I've started to delete people like that. I'm sick to death of them telling us only the sad bits to their lives. I'm not interested. I'm not interested to see who recently has dumped you, which limb has suddenly fallen off, what if I should cut and paste this to raise awareness of this, that and the other. Honestly, miserable posts all the time. For Christ's sake, put something happy on there or you get deleted. It's as simple as that. Anyway, Simon came off there for his own reasons. And he sent this in about the show yesterday. He said, in reference to the lost wallet, you may have heard the story sort of during the week, actually, on some of the news programmes, that Arriva, the train company, recently changed their policy because they'd been charging people to get their lost property back. Not only charging a flat fee of, say, I think it was £2, they were, if it was a wallet, they were taking 10% of what was in the wallet. I mean, it's outrageous, isn't it? 10% they were charging. Anyway, they've changed the policy after a public outcry. You know, I just want to point out, if there is a public outcry of me to stop doing this shows, not going to have any difference. I couldn't care less if there's only one of you watching. I will carry on doing these through thick and thin, dear. No matter how much you complain. If someone cuts off my line outside, I'll go on the 4G. Nothing will stop this programme coming to you in full colour and at no cost to the television licence player. It just gets better and better. Anyway, Simon Watch, in reference to the lost wallet Arriva train story, trains are so expensive, I found a cheaper alternative. I've bought my own train. He and Simon Keane Haruck. I've bought my own train. He Simon Keane. He's bought his own train. I bet it's one of those little ones that you sit on. You know, you cock one leg over the train and sit on it like one of those children. They're good, they are. I went on one for about a year ago. I think it was up some place up north with my nephew and his family. I'm just trying to think where that was. It wasn't Sundown. Sundown is like an adventure theme park for the under-10s, which is quite good in Lincolnshire. We were talking about that yesterday. And they do a wonderful Santa's Grotto. If you've got any children you want to take down there, that's really good. Simon also says, have you seen this new craze? Now, this is a great idea, actually. I don't know why he's moaning. Have you seen this new craze among kids on YouTube? Kids sit on the roundabouts in parks. You know the little kiddies roundabouts in parks? Don't you love those? How many times have you fallen off one of those because you got so dizzy you couldn't hang on? I put my great nieces and great nephews on them, and one of the great nephews, Harry, actually, the younger boy nephew, I think he's 5, I think he is. He just says faster, 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 where his sister Evie's, slow down, no, I want to get off. So that makes me go even faster when I find that they're scared. I love it. But this is great. Look at this. Apparently, on YouTube, kids now sit on roundabouts in parks, not car roundabouts, you know, the ones with little chairs on for little kids to go on. In parks, while someone revs a motorbike wheel attached to the roundabout, making it go fast. How stupid, Simon says. No, how much fun is that? I want to do it. I might have to go out and buy a motorbike specifically to go and do that. Great fun, if you ask me. Thank you, Simon. Nice to hear from you, sir. Right, let's read some of your early messages this morning. Good morning to Dukey Chris. He gets the first message in of the morning. He's very happy this morning because he got praise from his boss yesterday because they had such good takings, didn't you, Tay? How sad is that, Chris? Come on. How is it a great thing to be taking loads of money from people? I don't get that. When the gas board and all that, or wherever it is, I don't know, some shop, Sainsbury's or whatever, they come on and there are all these people, oh yeah, we've had to let so many people go, you know, we've got new tills now, we don't need so many people, and those that we've got, we're going to cut their wages. And then the next day they're on there, yeah, wow, we've had a fantastic month, we've made £10 billion in profits. Oh, I'm never impressed by people who constantly arc on about how much extra money they've made. And they're very, very sad individuals. And there's a lot of them about. There's an awful lot of them about. The only thing in life that impresses them is to get even more money. I've worked with people. I've worked with one person in particular who's never, ever, no, not just one, several people in particular who the only thing on their mind is how much money have they made this week in comparison with this time last year. And if it's more, then oh, happy, happy, happy. If it's not, they go into deep depression. No. Happiness is the smiles on people's faces and what you've achieved. Not how much money you've got in the bank. That's not happiness. Because you can never satisfy it. It doesn't matter how much money these people get. They just want more and more. Look at the bosses at, I don't know, Google and Apple and places like that. How on earth are they ever going to spend any of that money? They would have to, I don't know. They'd have to send a rocket to the moon to make a small dent in the amount of money that they've got. What is the point of it? What's the point of Apple making more and more money, charging an absolute arm and a leg for their products? What are these people going to do with the money? They don't give it out to the staff. They keep it all for that one person who's sitting at the top. They can't possibly ever be able to spend all that money. It's just madness. But will they cut the prices for you and me? Of course they won't, dear. They need more. It's like a drug, dear. It's like a drug. Christ. I mean, you'd have much more fun taking an ecstasy tablet, to be honest. You would. Oh, it reminds me of the 90s. Anyway, good morning to Adam the plumber. Morning. Morning, Adam. Hello to Shania, you lovely creature. Good morning, Shania on the Isle of Wight. Diane Jebb, good morning to you. Alan Russell, morning, Alan. Diane, Heidi's there. Good morning, Heidi. Nice to see you. Matt Joplin's there. Morning, Matt, who is a head DJ at Pop World, aren't you? Head DJ at Pop World. Adam says, I must stop being first in with a message. I've nowhere to put the key rings and pens. Number one, there's no key rings and pens. And number two, you weren't first. You weren't first today, dear. That was young Chrissy Dukey baby. Wasn't you? Incorrect. That's two incorrects today. It was the other one. Yes, thank you. By the way, can you lend us £25,000, Adam? I could do with a new car, to be honest. Let's have a look. Hello to Kieran. Morning, Kieran. Nice to see you there this morning. Heidi says, isn't the first bit of music just the best? Do you like it? Do you like it? Which one is that now? I can't remember what. It's that one, isn't it? Yep, it's that one. Good morning to Christopher Domingo. Welcome along to you. Thank you. Nguyen. Morning, Nguyen. Wendy's there. Oh, there's Wendy. I hope you heard your apology earlier, Wendy. I sent you an apology, darling. Russ Philip Vernon. Morning to you. Have a great Sunday, and you have a great Sunday as well. Well, can't take your money with you. You're right, Kieran. You're absolutely right. I don't know what they're going to do with all this money. Why do they just want more and more money? It's pointless. Absolutely pointless. Shania went to Portsmouth Cathedral. Oh, that's our head place, isn't it? Portsmouth Cathedral. That is our head place. Is that a very beautiful place? I bet it is. Did you actually go to a whole mass there or just a little walk round? I bet they've got their own proper choir and everything. You wouldn't get any of our lot in that choir down there, dear. I bet they have to produce... I bet they have to have... auditions to get in that one. Dear me. The old screeching banshee who's in our choir would never get in that one. Oh dear. Yes, we were just having a little apology to you earlier, Wendy, because it was indeed the O2 video and not the Cardiff one that I said. Good morning, Joanna. She's on the YouTube this morning. Morning, Joanna. DJRS Productions. Good morning. Chris, a lad nearly died of brain damage due to gyro forces from motorbike. Very bad. Is that on the roundabout thing, is it? Well, more fool in for doing it. More fool in for doing it, wasn't it? Good. And there we are. So we've said hello to all our early viewers this morning. Welcome along. After the show yesterday, I went into town. I bought my pump, as I said, from Halfords. £17. Those tills in Halfords, the checkout in Halfords, they are and have been for 25 or more years the slowest checkouts you have ever come across in your life. I don't know why it is. They seem to have to type something in and then a code and then something else. They are so slow. Have you noticed that? The tills in Halfords. And they've always been like that. But about time someone updated those. But the software, maybe it's the software that's really old, I don't know. Shania went to a whole mass, excellent. A parish priest who left in 2015 has just become the parish priest and dean of the cathedral. Wow. Oh, that's great, you went to see him sing the first night. Did they do the credo? I do like the Latin credo. Credo in unum Deum. It's very hard to find that now. The whole Missal de Angelis Mass, that one, you know. I love that mass. No one does it anymore. It's all in English. Very boring. Very boring. Wendy, that September pic on the calendar. Now, that was taken by a friend of ours, Eloise. And the Manilow people asked people to send in photographs of Barry Manilow. And that's from one of our friends, Eloise. It's good, isn't it? Good, isn't it? I can do that. You've seen me do that pose, haven't you? You've seen me do that pose. Yes. It's all over Vegas, really. I like my picture displayed all over Vegas. At the moment, it's just in toilets. Sometimes I see my picture displayed in public toilets, but never all over Vegas, unfortunately. Do you ever put a light on your mirror ball? No, never. Never. There isn't a light set up. And it's a bit distracting. A few years ago, I used to do like a music show where I would play new songs and people would vote on them. And for that, I did actually put a light on the mirror ball and we had some flashing lights going in it to add to the ambience. But it kind of don't really work on a talk show, I don't think, if you see what I mean. All right, so I got my pump. It's to be honest, you know, I'm glad Halfords is still there. You wonder what shop is going to go next, don't you? You really do. I mean, Maplin's the fact that Maplin's has gone now is a bit of a bug, really. I didn't go in there very often, but if you needed something quick, it was there. It was very expensive. It was expensive. You know, you'd be paying £10 for a lead where you could probably order it off Amazon for like £3. And there be's the problem, you see. There is the problem. We've lost House of Fraser. Okay, someone's taken it over, but it's not going to be the same. You know, it might look the same at the moment, but I don't think it's going to be the same. I'd heard rumours that Debenhams are... there's something going on at Debenhams as well. So, I mean, it's all bad news for the high street. And Nick Abbott, who's on LBC on Friday nights and Saturday nights, talks extensively about supermarkets and all that. We heard last week in the news that John Lewis has suffered a massive drop in their profits. Now, John Lewis, you know, but I don't know anyone who's not got high regard for John Lewis. Yeah, it might be a bit expensive, but generally, if you can find that item in a shop at a lower price and tell them, they will match the price. They always have done. Their logo is never knowingly undersold. So if you find it in Curry's, like 10 quid cheap, you go to John Lewis, hello, I'd like to buy that telly off you, but it's £10 cheaper in Curry's. Can you do it for the same price? And they will check it. They don't take your word for it. Of course, why would they? Because you just imagine all the people would be going in there lying, especially you. You'd be lying in there, wouldn't you? You'd be, I've seen that £2,000 telly in Curry's for 50 quid. Oh, okay, we'll sell it for you for 50 quid. No, not going to happen. they will pick up the phone and inquire or look on the internet. And indeed, if it is for 50 quid, perhaps they will match it. I don't know. But they've suffered an enormous drop in profits. And Marks and Spencer's, well, I mean, they seem to have been in trouble for years now, but they keep going. But Nick Abbott was saying on the radio last night, if we lose John Lewis and Marks and Spencer's, that's it. It's game over. If they can't survive, who can? And all for the sake of going on Amazon, saving a couple of quid here, a quid there. It's. I mean, I do it myself. Why? Even I bought a tyre for my bicycle, right? I bought a tyre for the bicycle and I thought, shall I go down Alfred's? Oh, I can't be bothered. I just order it off Amazon. You type in, and in comes, and 2 days later or 1 day later, it arrives. In an enormous box. In an absolutely enormous box, like 10 times the size of the tire. 8 people had to carry the box in with the tire in it. No, not really, but you get the general idea. Anyone ever ordered a printer cartridge from Amazon? Little cartridge like that, box like that, with loads of paper and all that business in it. And if we keep ordering stuff off Amazon and never going to the shops, those shops are going to close and you'll blooming well miss them. And once they're gone, you won't get them back again. I mean, stuff like clothes, for example. I wouldn't buy something like this on the internet. I want to touch this and feel it. I want to try it on. For a fact, ladies, you can go into a shop and try on a pair of size 32. I don't know what the latest sizes are. You're kind of half our size, isn't it? So a pair of size 16 jeans in that shop there, they're too tight. And then you go 2 doors down and you try a pair of size 16 jeans on, and they're too big. So when you order this stuff when you order clothes off the internet, I would imagine loads of clothes must get sent back again. And all this time going to and from in the various different boxes. And then I think someone was saying, I think Nick Abbott was saying as well last night, that someone in the government is considering putting a cardboard tax on Amazon. Because, of course, Amazon are not, they buy the cardboard. They don't dispose of it. Who has to do that? The councils. And once again, you're paying them for that. Mountains and mountains of cardboard coming through the post every day. Do you remember years ago getting a parcel? Let's go back not long. 10 years. Let's say 10 years. Say 10 years. How many parcels did you get in a year? 1? Maybe there were some years you didn't get any at all. 2 parcels, maybe 1 for your birthday, maybe. Christmas? Nah, probably not. You all met up at Christmas and exchanged. But now, I must get 1 or 2 a week coming through here. Little boxes, up they come, the finger. And it's exciting. For that moment that you open the box, because you may well have ordered, I don't know, a set of knives. Okay? You know that you've ordered that set of knives. You know what type of knives they are, exactly how much you've paid for them, and everything. You know how they're going to arrive. And yet, morning, Amazon. And you open the door, and there's a box. You know what's in that box. And yet, it's still so exciting to open it, isn't it? And I think this is where, I think subconsciously Amazon knows this, that we just order stuff and we get an immense amount of pleasure out of receiving a box. We know what's in it and all that, but you're not quite sure until you've actually opened it, are you? And even sometimes something might have arrived for me and I put it on the side and I might be doing something and my mate will come round and he's like, what's in the box? Haven't opened it yet. Can I open it? The excitement of opening that box. But all the time we're ordering this stuff from Amazon and that, well, there'll be no shops left. You'll have to order clothes off the internet at some point. I myself I only ever ordered shoe sizes seem to be quite normal, don't they? I'm a size 9. And whenever I've ordered shoes of a size 9, I've never had to send them back because they're too small or too big. They seem to be the right size all the time. But jeans, I remember sending one set of jeans back 3 times, I think it went back. They seem to be different sizes all the time. Size 32, oh no, let's try a 34, send that back, let's try a 36. Do you know what I mean? Fat bastard, isn't I? So that's the whole Amazon thing. But mountains and mountains of cardboard that the councils have to deal with now, don't they? Let's have a little look here what you're chatting about here. One moment, please. There we are. Roy, morning to Roy Brownlow. Morning, Roy. Ken Lloyd. Good morning to Ken Lloyd this morning. Welcome to the show, sir. Facebook is a millisecond behind your YouTube broadcast. Of what interest is that to anyone, Roy? Come on. So, my local charity shop is does a brilliant trade in sales. Oh, is that right? I never really see anyone in charity shops. It's got that musky smell that you used to get at jumble sales. Do you remember jumble sales? Our scouts, the first Roehampton. I was devastated the other day to find out that my scout group has closed. Not only has it closed years ago. First Roehampton Scout Group. Where I lived in Roehampton as a child in the 70s and 80s, we had the first Roehampton Scout Group, which was like the Holy Trinity Church of England. I was a member of that one. There was the second Roehampton Scout Group, which was kind of the Catholic belonging to that church. Although I was a Catholic, I wasn't a member of that. And there was the third Roehampton Scout Group, which was which held its meetings in a school, which I became the arcaler of for a short period of time, a couple of years, I think it was. And I thought I'd do a search the other day on Facebook, and I thought, surely there must be a first Roehampton Scout Group page. Nothing. Then I did a search online, nothing there either. And I thought, that's odd. Then I found the district, Wandsworth, Putney and Roehampton District Scout area, and couldn't find anything there. So I sent the district commissioner an email. I said, is the first Roehampton Scout Group going? No, disbanded years ago. Can't believe it. How sad is that? It's really sad. There's probably plenty of reasons for that. My guess is they can't find leaders anymore. Who wants to lead a scout? You're tied up in all sorts of red tape and all this, that and the other. You know, I mean, I don't think I'd want to be a scout leader ever again. No, I mean, when I think about some of the stuff we used to get up to, you know, climbing over mountains of wood, collecting wood for fire and that, and making a fire and the primers, I reckon they're surrounded with health and safety and all that business now. Why would you ever want to do it anymore? What's life without a risk or two, for Christ's sake? You know, you just imagine the snowflakes in their tents, and they'd have mobile phones. All the kids would have mobile phones now. Oh, Mum, I'm in the tent. I'm really cold. It'd be like that. And then no doubt the mother would ring the leader. My son's in the tent. He's really cold. What are you doing about it? Nah. Why would anyone want to do that anymore? Awful. Just doesn't work it. A very good morning to Maureen joining us today. Morning to you, Maureen. Welcome along to the show there. Oh. I thought there was another message there. Was there? I'm sure I saw another message there. No, it's disappeared. Did someone else send a text message in? Because it was there a second ago and it's disappeared. I've lost that message. There's a text in number as well if you want to use the mobile phone. Okay, don't try and ring it because I don't take. You can ring it if you want to, but you won't get an answer. It's only for text messages for those people that can't type away on their keyboards. 07551 259 675. 07551 259 675 for your text messages. Now, if someone just sent a text message, I don't know. I'm sure it was there a minute ago and I can't see it now. Someone that said they were watching for the first time. Do you want to try it again? And I'll see if I can get it this time. That was strange and mysterious, wasn't it? Kieran says, no M&S. I better learn to cook then. Yes, you should. You should learn to cook, Kieran. I'm a fan of cooking. I use my slow cooker a lot. I've got a slow cooker. I do really spicy food. Today, I haven't done anything in the slow cooker today, but what I do, I've got an enormous slow cooker, and I'll do stuff in there. Like there'll be like 6 or 7 meals in that, and then a lot of it gets frozen and then gets dragged out over the week. And today I've got my famous spaghetti arrabbiata sauce or whatever it's called, something like that. Very delicious. That's for after the show today. Wendy says, I never shop for clothes online. They never fit. Yeah, this is the problem with shopping for clothes online. But other items, often from Argos, occasionally Amazon. So she goes into Argos. Argos is struggling, closing stores in 2019, Roy said. Oh, are they really? I didn't know that. And Wendy, there you go. I can buy a size 8 to 14 at the moment. Have to try it on. You see, you go in each shop, you try a size 8. Every shop is a different blooming size, isn't it? I suppose. I wonder if it depends what country they make it in. Aren't the American sizes are slightly different, aren't they? I'm sure they are. I'm sure the American sizes are slightly different. Shania, I honestly can't remember the last time I ordered anything online. I always go to the shop. Yeah, good on you, Shania. You've got to support these shops. Not just the small ones, but the big ones as well. I mean, it's actually a real pleasure taking an entire afternoon and wandering around a department store. I have to say, if you go into London, you know, to Oxford Street and all that, you walk around. At one end, you've got Harrods and Selfridges, and then coming down a little bit, you've got you've got John Lewis, Debenhams, and all those. They're always really busy. Really busy. But come out here, we've got a Phoenix in Bracknell. Brand new Phoenix. And there's never more than a handful of people walking around in there. God knows how they make their money. You know, they got all the designer clothes at the end and like posh handbags. I bought a couple of items in there. I never see anyone in there in Phoenix. Even the John Lewis in Reading, well, it kind of ticks over right, but you couldn't say it was madly busy in there, really, or busy at all. Mind you, when I go to these places, it's generally during the week. I don't go shopping on a Saturday. Oh, Christ, that's a nightmare. I don't know what it's like on a Saturday anymore, going in department stores. Whether or not they're still busy or not. I've not been in one of those for ages. Good morning to Jamie Clark. Morning, Jamie. Kieran, I buy nearly everything apart from food and clothes online. Yeah, and I don't order any. I rarely, very, very rarely have a takeout. I know some of you probably live on takeouts, don't you? Down the Chinese or McDonald's or something like that. And ring up. What's that company? Just Eat. You haven't even got to move from your bed anymore, have you? You just wake up. Oh, what's the time? Oh, yeah. If you're a student, you know. Is it 3 o'clock in the afternoon? That's what time students get up. Oh, I think I'll have breakfast. I just ordered something to do. Oh, hello, yeah, eggs and bacon, please. I'll push a button and then just bring it up to my bed. That's how it'll be. That is how it'll be. There are people that live like that, you know. Absolutely. There are. They just make it a do. Oh, hello. Yeah. Yep. Is that yes, please. If you could bring eggs and bacon. If you ring on the door. And then when when you hear it go buzz, just bring it up to my bed, all right? And then, you know, they drift back up to sleep. Ding dong. Oh, hello, you bring it up. And push a button. Bzz, door opens. Bloke brings up. I bet he'd be a young person. Brings up the food. That puts it on the bed. You know, and then go back to sleep again until the next meal. It's 6 o'clock. Better have my dinner. Oh, hello, is that pizza up? Yeah, could you send round a pizza, please? And they just lay in bed, ordering everything. Don't actually need to buy clothes because they never get out of bed. I mean, what sort of life is that? No experiences, just nothing. Awful. Wendy, M&S have taken the H&S. Oh, what's H&S? Health and Safety have taken the joy out of a lot of things. Well, they have. You know, there's no fun anymore. One of the things we used to do in Scouts was a thing called Beat Your Neighbour. It was a bit like It's a Knockout, right? But done amateurishly, cheaply. And one of the things we had on this particular game, so you'd have teams of Scouts playing against each other. And one of the things we did, there was like like a little hill, you know, on the ground. And they put a bit of plastic, thick plastic, down this hill, okay? Removing the stones that they could see, anyway, right? And then at the top, there'd be a bloke with a hose, and also another bloke with a bottle of Fairy Up washing up liquid. And they'd squirt that on there, and then someone would blow a whistle, And you literally... Now, what did we have to do? I think they had things on the side. I think they had things on the side and you had to grab them as you went down. And, of course, you go and you'd slip over, bang your arse on the floor, possibly get scraped up by a couple of stones that no one noticed that was still there. But we had fun. And now and again, you'd end up at the little medical place, to have another plaster put on or something like that. Wouldn't be allowed to do that now. Oh, my kids might get, can I have some more cotton wool to wrap around them? Oh, it's pathetic, isn't it? Pathetic. Is there any central heating no central heating in the tents? Oh, no, my kids can't go to that. Oh, for God's sake, get real, will you? Dear me. It was a lot of fun. It really was a lot of fun. Kieran says he doesn't have time to go walking around shops. Why is that then, dear? Come on. You need to get walking around shops. A very good morning to Thomas H. Morning, Thomas, who says slow cooker. Yeah. Slow cooker. Have you never had a slow cooker, Thomas? They're really good. Really, really good. Just chuck it all in, turn it on, it's all done. He quite likes my comment, touchy-feely things. We like a touchy-feely thing, Thomas. I can only dream of being touched and felt at some point anymore. Thomas also likes the shopping experience. He's watching on Vaughan Live this morning and says, I still prefer going to the stores as long as they aren't ripping me off. Well, I mean, who doesn't rip you off, to be honest? I feel ripped off whenever I buy anything, to be honest. When I was at the O2, I was at the O2 last Saturday night for Barry Manilow concert. And I bought a small Coke, £4.50. Now, if that's not ripping you off, I don't know what is, one of those things. Okay, so yesterday after the show, as I say, I went into town, came back home, went swimming, had my lunch, then went to Aldi. Now, here's the thing, Aldi. Who likes Ben & Jerry ice cream? Anyone likes Ben & Jerry? Yes, you do. Ben & Jerry's ice cream. My favourite one is I think it's a vanilla one with chocolate. I call them chocolate pustules in it. Now, I don't know the name of it, but it's like little bits of chocolate. Not you. Oh, Thomas, you disappoint me. Who wants a little fat touchy-feely? Yes, please. If anyone sees me out and you want a little touch, please feel free. I'm not going to drag you in front of the courts and say, oh, he touched me without even saying. Oh, he didn't ask my permission. Front page of the Daily Mail, mate. That's where you be. Anyway, it's like a vanilla ice cream, and it's got little squares of chocolate in it. And when you bite into the chocolate, filled with caramel. Yum, yum, yum. Ben & Jerry's. Do you like Ben & Jerry's ice cream? I bet you don't like the price, though, do you? Normal price of one of those 500 millilitre tubs now of Ben & Jerry's ice cream, certainly in the Co-op, I think is about £5.50. It's a lot of money. Well, get this. I was in Aldi yesterday and I thought, I wonder, because Aldi are very good at doing stuff that you've paid an arm and a leg for much cheaper. And I went to the ice cream section. And guess what? I didn't find that particular type, but I found, I think it's Giovanni, I think is their brand name. Giovanni's cookie dough ice cream. And also, another one of my favourites is, now, what's it called? Caramel. Oh, I can't remember now. But it's chocolate one side, vanilla on the other side, and right through the middle, a very thick layer of delicious caramel. £5.50? Don't think so. £1.99. And just for the thing of trying it so that I could tell you about it today. That's the only reason. I didn't buy it for my own pleasure or anything like that. Just for the fact of trying it yesterday so I could tell you about it, I tried the cookie dough Giovanni ice cream from Aldi. £1.99. Oh my God, it is delicious. And you're hard pressed to tell the difference between that and the Ben & Jerry's one. I would say the Ben & Jerry's one has possibly got a little bit more cookie dough in it. Apart from that, identical. Identical. So I did buy that one. Oh, I also bought the one with the caramel, which, just for your benefit and not mine, I'll be trying out a little later on. And I'll tell you all about that on tomorrow's show, okay? Right about 9. We'll be with you at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, nice and early on a Monday morning, okay? Fish food, Kieran, that's a nice one. We like the fish food. Yes, now you're talking, Kieran. Are you trying to tempt me out on a date by mentioning fish food ice cream? I think you are. You know the secret to my heart is ice cream. Oh, yum, 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 yum. You must be very careful. Very easy to put on weight on ice cream. I've got a bit of an ice cream addiction at the moment, which I must get out of. But of course, I'm only trying it out so I can tell you about it. You understand that? Good morning to Mark Cobain. Morning, Mark. How's your mum? Hope your mum's all right. Roy says, have you been banned from Slimming World? You never mention it. No, I haven't been banned from Slimming World. Thomas hasn't tried Ben & Jerry's. Where are you, Thomas? Whereabouts are you, Thomas? Are you not in the UK? I just assumed you was either in the UK or maybe you just haven't tried Ben & Jerry's. I don't know. It is expensive. Is it worth $5.50? No, it's not. It's the best ice cream, really. I think Ben & Jerry's. $5.50 for a tub? No, it's a bit much, to be honest. It really is a bit. Oh, you're in the USA. Thank you, Thomas. Sorry, I forgot what I was going to say there now. Oh, yes, Slimming World. I haven't been banned from Slimming World. What's happened is that I used to go to Slimming World on a Tuesday. But now, during the week, I'm up in Lincolnshire. So I can't go to that one now. So the idea was I would join another one up there and go up there on the Tuesday or whatever, or on another day. But I just haven't got around to it, and that's why that's happened. That's why I haven't been to Slimming World for a while. In fact, I think you've got to go at least once every 6 weeks to keep your membership, and I have a feeling I've gone longer than that. So I'm not quite sure what will happen next time. I will go back at some point as soon as I join up. I just wonder if actually one of the family might want to go up there and join with me. Mark, mum's not too bad. Good. Gallbladder operation. Oh, okay. Well, wish her my best there, won't you? Morning to Angela Walters in Melbourne, Australia. It's her birthday today. Where have you been, Angela? We did wonder where you'd gone to, my dear. You're not keeping up with us, Angela, are you, darling? Morning to Tony Power. He's on the YouTube this morning. Morning, Tony. All right. Hope you're well this morning. I was just talking. Did you know? Well, I was just talking to Tony the other day, and I was mucking around on YouTube the other night, and I never knew that 1 year the Eurovision Song Contest came from Scotland. Did you know that? I think it's 1972, I think. They actually did it from Edinburgh, and I never knew that. Just mucking around. Did you do that on YouTube? And you thought, oh, wow, you've come across something and you didn't realise that. I never knew that 1 year the Eurovision Song Contest was held in Edinburgh. And I watched the first bit of it, and on she come. And on come the lady. I thought, well, this would be good Scottish accent. No Scottish accent. Proper BBC English it was. I can't remember who it was who hosted it now. Edinburgh, that's right. That's right, yeah. Good. Let's have a look here. What else have I got to tell you this morning? No, nothing else. I might tonight. I've got nothing planned tonight. I'm considering going out to see the new Michael Caine film. Is it Thieves? Good Thieves? Bad Thieves? Or something like that. I'm a big fan of Michael Caine. I think he's an excellent actor. And I might go and see that tonight. Although, of course, we have got The Bodyguard on tonight. Episode 4 of that excellent BBC programme, The Bodyguard. You saw his bum the other week, didn't you? Saw his bum. Now, I've liked the whole thing except for the scene where the Home Secretary is standing against the wall with her hand down her knickers. I'm sorry. No. That really, I thought, oh, God, did we have to actually see that? Just awful. Mind you, she's dead. Isn't she? In the last episode, it looks like she's died. Although people are talking that you didn't actually see her dead. It was just someone that come and told her bodyguard, who she's having an affair with, that she was dead. And of course, he's gone into depression and is not happy and all that business. So is she dead or isn't she? So The Bodyguard tonight on BBC One Colour, Sunday night at 9 o'clock. So I've got that to watch as well tonight. Angela, I've got one tournament tomorrow. Oh, she's got country golf tomorrow, have you? I've not played golf. She's been playing golf. Oh, right, okay. Golf tournaments. I've never really played golf. I did a bit crazy golf once, and me and my friend Peter Watts, when we were both 16, we used to get on our bikes and go to play crazy golf. I think it was at Powell Park in Roehampton. We did that a few times. That was good. That was good. Wendy, Ben & Jerry's is an American company, so they should have it in the US. I'm really surprised you haven't tried Ben & Jerry's ice cream. Was it Tommy? Thomas? Really surprised. Try some. Try and find one of the caramel. Oh, they're absolutely delicious, aren't they, Wendy? I hope you haven't been having Ben & Jerry's ice cream, you naughty girl. Naughty, naughty, naughty. Oh, not a foodie. Well, I mean, you don't have to be a foodie, right, to try Ben & Jerry's ice cream. It's so nice. It really is. Let's have a look here. What else have I got here? I went to church this morning. Been to church this morning. Got up about 7:20. 9 o'clock mass. Father David. I was chatting away to Vivian. I did make her laugh this morning. It's naughty, really. And we have the altar servers. I mean, when I was a boy, you only had altar boys on church, didn't you? Now we have girls as well, so they're altar servers. Everyone's together. There was a girl, and she had this like ribbon in her hair. And Vivian is the lady that sits next to me. She's proper staunch Catholic. I love her. I absolutely love her. But if there's something wrong, she will point it out to you. Not something wrong with me. Something wrong that's going on in the mass at the church, right? And I nudged her. I said, "Isn't that amazing?" She said, "What?" I said, "The girl over there. Isn't it amazing what you can do with an old piece of curtain?" She had this ribbon in her hair. It looked like one of your mum's old curtains that someone had cut a bit off and tied it in her hair. And she's like, "Stop it." And this was just before Holy Communion. So she's in fits of laughter while I've told this. And then she got me laughing early. Later on, there's another lady who will remain nameless who sits a little bit further off. And again, she's quite proper. She don't like no mucking around. She's like proper. Do you know what I mean? And it's probably about the same age as me, maybe a little bit younger. And this bloke's come up, at the end of Mass, he's come up and done this speech that they're doing a Christmas pantomime. Now, they've done one for many, many years. And if you want to go in it, you can go in it. Now, this year, they have selected to do Cinderella. They're doing Cinderella as the church pantomime this year. So I nudged Vivian because although she is prim and proper, she's very, very straight-laced, but I've got a feeling she knows about me, if you see what I mean. That I like the men and not the girls. Do you know what I mean? I think she knows, but she's never come out with it, and I don't offer it to her. And we're kind of quite happy with that, both of us, right? And I said, will you be going in for that? She said, well, I was Cinderella one year. I said, oh, right. And the bloke's saying, they've got two lots of practices. One for most people that anyone can be in it, and one for the main 9 characters. I said, well, you don't have to do that this year. You could be a tree. I said, what do you think I should be? She looked at me. She said, perhaps you could play one of the ugly sisters. And then she said, you see her over there, right? Name not mentioned. And I like it. And they're very good friends, these two. She said, well, years ago when there was a different priest there, they had this meeting and this other person turned up there. And the priest stood there and said, would you like to play one of the ugly sisters in front of everyone to this woman? Can you imagine it? Oh, dear me. Angela, can you say hello to my daughter? Hello, Courtney. It was her birthday yesterday. And say hello to her girlfriend, Melissa. So hello to Courtney and Melissa for yesterday. How old was she yesterday, Angela? The delightful Courtney. How old were you yesterday, darling? Do let us know. Wendy, ugly sisters, can see you doing that. Thanks very much. At least I won't need a mask, will I? Oh, dear. Thomas says he can't be bribed with food. Is that right? Who's trying to bribe you then? Do let us know. What's the pink thing like a ruler? Oh, that? Oh, thank you for mentioning it. I would have nearly forgot this. This is my new roller blind for my caravan. Now, this... Okay, those of you that are boring and don't like bright colours, up yours. I can't bear bland, boring colours. Grey, black, white, I don't know, green with a hint of yellow. No, I like bright colours. Now, my caravan in the bedroom, this is for the bedroom, incidentally. In the bedroom, I always have a couple of hours sleep in the afternoon. Wherever I am, whether I'm at home, away, I need a siesta in the afternoon. I've done it for 25 years, and I can't get out of it. And the one thing with the caravan is you've got curtains in the bedroom, and when you pull them, the light, it doesn't really block the light out too well. They are quite thin. So I thought, my sister suggested I get, I think it was my sister. It was either my sister or my best mate, Ron, who suggested I get a blackout blind. No, I think it was my sister. So here it is. And I've got the walls. I've recently had the caravan decorated in the worst bright colours you can imagine. I love it, and I don't care what anyone else thinks about it. I was saying this to you the other day. If there's something you want, whether you want to do or you want to buy or have done or something like that, if there's something like that that you really want, can I suggest to you that you don't ask other people's opinions, right? Sometimes you'll find people offer opinions that you don't really want anyway. Now, my mate's good at that. He's constantly offering his opinions on stuff that I didn't ask. Now, for example, the colours of my caravan. He hates it. The living room is bright green, that sort of green, okay? The living room is that colour green. And the bedroom is a bright blue. Yeah, there you go. Let's have a look at this. Like that bright blue. That's the colour of the bedroom. And this is the blind that's going to go for the colour of the bedroom. Check that out. Isn't it great? I might have to get my brother-in-law to put it up because I'm really crap at putting things up. Although I think it's just 2 screws this, and I haven't opened this yet. I'm glad you asked about this because I've been meaning to show this to you. I haven't even taken it out. Do you think I should take it out or should I? Oh, I don't know. Should I leave it in there? I think I'm going to leave it in there, actually. Does it come with the fittings? I suppose it does. Yeah, there's a thing in the bottom. Oh, there's a bit. Oh, yeah, I better put that back in there like that. So that's the colour. It's nice, isn't it? And that is a blackout blind. And I think that will go excellently with my blue walls. I got it. I got it a little bit longer than it needs to be, so that it goes over the sides. Because, quite frankly, as I say, just a minute. Quite frankly, the curtains just don't block out the light at all. So that's what that is. I'm glad you asked about that, Roy. All right, let's put that back there. Another piece of paperwork to deal with later. Oh, I hate it. Wendy's been eating cornettos. Have you really? Just one cornetto. Give it to me. Yeah, Wendy loves it. She loves the colour and asked Martin to do it. I think you might be right there, Wendy. I'll just get my brother-in-law to do it. Because if I do it, I'll probably rip the thing and I'll be so disappointed. I'm very good at doing bad DIY. It took me nearly an hour to put a blooming new tyre on my bike the other day. If you were with us yesterday, you'd know this already. But I had a puncture. Well, I thought it was a puncture. But actually, I pumped it up and it was all right after. I think it was something to do with the valve. Anyway, I thought, I'll just change. The tyre looked like it needed replacing anyway. So I bought this tyre, as I told you earlier, on Amazon. Managed eventually to get that and the new, and I bought a new. I changed the inner tube as well because if it went down once, it might go again. So I bought these 2 items on the internet, and I bought 2 inner tubes, one to put on, one as a spare. Okay, so I've managed to get this on. I'm trying to pump it, wouldn't pump up. That's weird. Why won't that pump up? And there's no there was no resistance on the pump. It was a small pump. I've got one of those ones now, which are really good. They're fantastic. If you've got a bicycle, get yourself one of those pumps that go up and down. It's so quick, wonderful, and it gets much harder. You don't want it to all go soft and floppy. You can't do anything with them, ladies, once that's happened. Soft and properly, and don't take any notice of what they say to you. Oh, it'll be all right in a minute. No, it won't. That ain't going to go hard now, sunshine. But if you've got one of those, it will go hard. I promise you. Pardon? But this thing isn't doing up. I'm putting it up with my little pump because I didn't have the other one. And I'm trying to work it out. Is it something to do with the valve? And I'm opening it, trying it again, doing it up. And then I'm kind of feeling around to see, is it pinched anywhere? And I thought, eventually I took this tyre off. Somehow I've managed to rip it right where the valve is. So, of course, I'm pumping the air in, it's coming straight out again. So I then had to take that one on and put the spare one on, which has now worked. And it's nice and hard there, and that's worked all right. But that must have taken about an hour to do that. Useless at DIY. You're quite right, Wendy. Leave it to... Or no, I might put it up myself and make a video of me mucking it up. Would you prefer that? I think you might. Oh, let's have a look here. Angela, her daughter is 23 yesterday, so happy birthday to Courtney, and hello to her girlfriend, Melissa. Shania says, your church seems very entertaining. Oh, it's a laugh a minute, Shania. A laugh a minute. It's like a show. He could sell tickets for that mass. Father David is great, and Father David is very straight down the line. He will tell you how it is. If you don't do this, this and this, you're going down there. He tells you how it is. We like him very much, Father David. We do. Wendy loves the colour. Fuchsia. Is it fuchsia? I thought it was Magneta. Magneta? Magenta? Magenta. I thought it was magenta. It doesn't say. Does it say? It's all in foreign. Des Win. Designs for Windows. Deswin.com it is. Deswin.com. It doesn't really say. It is like a pinky. You might well be right, a fuchsia. I don't know. It said Magneta when I ordered it, but I'm very happy with that colour anyway. We want more bright colours in our lives, don't we? Get some bright... Get rid of... If you're going to have your house decorated, get it done how you really want it to be done. Not, I'll do it magnolia because if I paint it in another colour and I want to sell it, I'll have trouble selling it. No, sod it. Paint it in the colour you want. Nice bright colours, that's what you want. 1 second, let's just scroll up a little bit there. Tony, I've been watching a lot of stuff on Netflix lately and not going out so much. Anyone finding Netflix a bit addictive? I prefer it to going out sometimes. Well, you don't have to talk to anyone anymore, do you, Tony? You go into a pub, I'm sure you get the same as me, mate. Young people sitting there looking down their nose at you. How dare you come into our pub? That sort of thing, innit? It's outrageous. Thomas only eats once a day. Really? God, you must be sitting there starving, mate. An electric pump is better. Yes, it is. Or, Thomas, the other thing I found in Halfords, they've got these little things like a gadget, and you put a gas bottle on the end. You know those little gas bottles that these kids sniff. God knows what they're doing because it makes them laugh. It looked a bit like that. I don't know what sort of gas that is, and you kind of put that into the, and you go, and it bursts into life. It's just a lazy way of doing it, though, isn't it? Putting gas in like that things. Let's have a look there. Oh, 1 second. Angela's got her birthday cake. Have you really? Come on, let's see a picture of it then. We'll have a look. Wendy, you'll end up with 10 holes, probably. I think I'll probably put holes straight away through the caravan and then I get a draft, won't I? It's bad enough when you got loose knickers on. You get a draft then, don't you, Wendy? It is a shade of pink. Is it Magneta? Magneta? I don't even know how to say it. CO2, is that what it is? CO2 that they have in those little canisters. I don't know how many tyres you would pump up on a small canister of CO2 because they're only tiny. I mean, how much air can you get in one of those? I don't know. It's all very strange and mysterious. It really is. That's my day. I was talking to you about the Bodyguard. As I say, episode 4 is on tonight, BBC One, Sunday night, BBC One Colour, 9 o'clock. Well, in the Daily, and I saw this on the news this morning, people are so bloody stupid. It's unbelievable. It really is. Exclusive. The BBC has been inundated, boys and girls, inundated. The BBC has been inundated with complaints after handing cameo roles in hit drama The Bodyguard to 14 of its own presenters. Well, I mean, it makes sense. Surely that's going to save money, isn't it? Viewers accused it of blurring the line between fact and fiction after the likes of Andrew Marr, Sophie Rayworth and Laura Kusenberg fronted news reports during the show. Now, I know what they're talking about here, because while you're watching this drama, The Bodyguard, okay, now and again they have a television on in the corner, and there's one of the BBC newsreaders reading the news. How on earth you can be stupid enough to think that you're actually seeing the news is beyond me. I mean, you've got to be really thick to think that you're watching. They don't show it like you would. If you turn the news on, there is the host sitting there, you know, like me, possibly a little bit younger than me, like me, sitting there, reading the news straight to camera. They don't do it like that. No, what they do is that the drama is in front of you, and and there you see a television playing the news. There's no way that you, I'm sure, would be thinking that you're actually watching a news programme. Not these dimwits. Not these dimwits. Are you ready for this, look? Viewer, I mean, what sort of name is this? Dugade Macmillan wrote online, little wonder the BBC accused of fake news when they insert journalists into fictional drama. I mean, how stupid can you be to actually think you're watching the news? Another one here. Lestin T. Davis tweeted, really don't think it's wise to have BBC news presenters voicing what are fictional news accounts. Enjoying the show, but it's a line crossed with this kind of content. Can you clarify your editorial position, please? Al Mawson agreed, tweeting, I don't see the point of it. In fact, I find it irritating. It doesn't make a programme more realistic. Well, it does. It doesn't. But it makes sense. I mean, I get it. Are you that stupid that you don't get it? The rest of the cast of actors, why not the news presenters too? The audience can use its imagination. Well, because they're probably saving money. Who is it in the afternoon? Old Simon McCoy. He does the 2:00 thing, doesn't it, on the BBC? And he tries to shove in jokes. Simon McCoy is a very likeable newsreader, but he keeps trying to tell jokes. Now and again, he'll drop in a joke, and he's just not funny. You're laughing because the delivery and the joke is just not good. I like Simon McCoy very much, but he can't tell jokes. If he didn't tell jokes, I must say I'd probably miss it now, because he's always dropping a joke or two, and it doesn't work. But he's one of the ones that's on The Bodyguard reading the news. BBC guidelines state it's normally inappropriate for a BBC correspondent in the field to front a fictional news report. However, the concern would be if you thought this is actually happening. Nobody thinks that. Well, not according to these idiots who tweet in. Oh dear, how can you actually think that is a news report? It's beyond me. Daniel, good morning, Daniel. Funny show as always. That's what it's all about. Daniel having a little bit of a laugh this time of the morning, okay? Roy, what happened to CO1? What's CO1? I don't know what CO1 is. I don't know what that is. CO1. Do let us know what CO1 is. Thomas reckons one of those little bottles would do one tyre. That's a dear way of pumping your tyres up then, because one of those bottles is about £3.50. Oh, it's just bloody lazy. You get one of these, right? Do you know the pumps I mean? That you can go, you get either a little one like that, and I've always got one. I carry that in my little bike on the back of the bike, my bag in the back of the bike. Or you can get one of those that you put on the floor, and you do it in about 10 pumps. The thing's as hard as nails. It really is. Hey, Wendy McCoy. Simon McCoy is awesome. Very dry sense of humour. Yeah, he has got a dry sense of humour, but it's just not. He tells these jokes, and he has a little giggle to himself, and you're thinking to yourself, well, what was funny? Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. What else have you got through this morning? Oh, I love this story. Yeah, look at this. Now, don't ever work for Mr. Mr. Putin in Russia. You don't want to work for him, and I'll tell you why. Front page of the Daily Mail this morning, the Kremlin assassins, according to the Daily Mail. You remember that? The Kremlin. Those two blokes. Oh, we were tourists. What, in Salisbury? If we come to look at the clock. When that story came on a couple of days ago, I was howling at the news. Do they honestly believe that we believe they were two tourists and of all places, they went to Salisbury, what to do? To look at a clock. Someone's having a laugh with us. I thought it was funny. Anyway, we think, not me, but the government thinks they're proper assassins, okay? So it says the Kremlin assassins, so presumably they were employed by the Kremlin and as the course would go, the man at the top, Mr. Putin. The Kremlin assassins who attempted to poison the other two people with the Novichok nerve agent allegedly enjoyed a drug-fueled night with a prostitute just before the Salisbury attack. Don't sound too bad, does it? But wait for it. Russian agents Ruslan Boshirov and Alexander Petrov, who gave an astonishing interview last week claiming to be sightseers, reportedly kept guests awake at their, here it comes, £75 a night hotel. 75 quid a night? What, he sent them to do a job like that, if you believe the story, and he's put them in a £75 a night hotel? How tight can you be? Well, I'm glad I don't work for Mr. Putin. Oh, Theresa May wouldn't have any of that. She sends people like James Bond into £300 a night hotels. £75 a night, you tight old thing, Mr. Putrid. Mr. Putin. Witnesses say cannabis wafted from their twin room in the 2-star City Stay Hotel in Bow East London. I mean, it gets worse and worse. I feel sorry for them, to be honest. Poor things. Can't you stick them up in Claridge's or the Savoy? Furious guests complained to staff after the pair smuggled a prostitute into the room for noisy sex. Noisy sex. All that business. £75 a night. What a tight man the Russians are. And they got all that money from the gas coming in, haven't they? Separate reports suggest that the hitmen were wheeled out for their TV interview as a punishment for leaving a trail of evidence. Oh, yeah. We've come to look at the clock in Salisbury. Oh, the news gets madder and madder. It really does. But you've got to laugh. You've got to laugh at these things. That's what we do on this show. Roy says a prostitute in Salisbury whose granny was that. Well, I've looked at the two blokes and quite frankly, I wouldn't want to work for them. Not my cup of tea at all. Tony says the thing is they will always get away with it. They can say or do anything they want and countries need to find a way on to do with this problem. Yeah, maybe do. Daniel says maybe Simon McCoy needs to get wet once in a while. Yeah, blast him with some sort of spray. That would be good. Halfway through the news, someone comes out with a hose and blasts old Simon McCoy. Let's go. I might go. I don't know. I might jump in the car later and go and have a look at the clock in Salisbury. I quite like the idea of that. Nice little day out. Oh yes, one more story. I've got to read this to you. And this is two stories. First of all, the iPhone story. These are all Mail stories today, okay? I think most of them are Daily Mail stories. I did have a Daily Mirror story, but it's a bit long, and we've been here an hour now, and you'll start switching off in your drove soon. You know, we go from like 85 million people to 2 people in the space of a couple of minutes if I go over an hour. That's what normally happens. Roy says they might poison the wine at next week's communion, Chris. Be careful. Oh, well, I don't have that. I don't have the wine at church, and there's a reason for that, because you get viruses around where people with dirty lips who haven't brushed their teeth. Thank you. Tony reckons Mr. Putrid probably sent them to do a sex video, but it backfired. They used to do that substance instead of poppers. Daniel, stop it. Stop it. Right, so get this. Get this. Women are upset. They're moaning again. Oh, yes. Apple has been I don't know where they come from. I don't know where people get this. Apple has been criticised for designing iPhones too big for women's hands. Campaigners were furious that the tech giant was not making products with women in mind after it announced it would discontinue the smallest iPhone model, the SE. So, again, another story where people are almost looking to be offended. Do you honestly think that Apple have gone out of their way to make a phone specifically so that the fairer sex can't hold it? And it's just another non-story, isn't it? It's another non-story. Critics quickly pointed out that the larger models would be more difficult for women to use because the average female hound is an inch narrower than the average man's. Did you know that, ladies? And that's why the gays are so much... well, whatever. And do you actually think that Apple were there designing phones specifically not to fit in women's hands? Now, if I tell you what, if they bought out another phone and this one's specifically for women, you can just imagine those same women, can't you? Oh, that's really sexist. Oh, that's really sexist. Moan all the time, they do. Certain people are moaning all the time. One more story then. Now, we got another royal wedding coming up. We loved the royal wedding of Harry. We loved William. We love it. Then the next ones. But Eugene? Who's going to watch that? What does she do, this Eugene? Does she do anything? Anyway, the BBC aren't going to show it. BBC executives have turned down the chance to broadcast Princess Eugenie's wedding next month because they think it will be a ratings flop. I think they're right. This has been written by Kate Hind for the Mail on Sunday. I can reveal that Prince Andrew was attempting to strike a deal with the network to televise his youngest daughter's big day. However, after secret meetings with the BBC, courtiers were told it's a no-go. They're not going to show it. Who's going to watch it? Who wants to watch Eugene getting married? What does she do? Who is she? She's no one. It's not Harry and it's not William. Anyone, they're the two. That's it. There are no more weddings of royal that we want to see. Okay, maybe Camilla and Charles. But anyone beneath Harry and William, in a way of speaking, they're of no interest to people. Eugene, Beatrice, how far do you want to go down the line? There's no interest in that. I think the BBC are absolutely right to turn that down. Sky, apparently, is also running no more than snippets throughout the day as part of its rolling news coverage. However, I understand that ITV may be coming to the rescue. Oh, God's sake. With a full programme of coverage, a source tells me from the outset the instruction from the very top was that Eugene's wedding must be televised. Why? The BBC was approached because they've got a special relationship with Buckingham Palace and a formula that works, and they do it very well. I thought they did the weddings very well, and they did the whole thing, didn't they? Coronation, everything. Why would they want to ever show the wedding of Eugenie? I'm sure she's a nice girl. I'm sure she's all right. But of what interest is it to anyone? The BBC was approached, but they turned it down because they don't think enough people will tune in and there isn't enough support for the Yorks. And I don't think there is. I don't think anyone will tune in. Who's going to take a day off to watch the wedding of Eugene? The feeling at the Palace is that the BBC has dropped the ball. At the end of the day, this is going to be a huge royal wedding. Really? Is it? For who? I won't be watching it. With all senior members of the royal family in attendance. Well, good luck to them. Have a lovely day. But I don't want to watch. Who wants to watch it? But nobody. Does anyone? Do any of you want to watch the Eugene wedding? Maybe I'm wrong. Nobody wants to take risk and spend the money it would cost to put on air. Eugene and her fiancé announced their engagement in January. They later appeared on BBC One's The One Show to talk about the moment Jack popped the question. It's understood Prince Andrew feels his daughter should enjoy the same big day spotlight as Harry and Meghan. No! No! Absolutely not. And the lack of interest by TV companies will come as a huge disappointment. Well, I mean, it just seems a complete and utter waste of time. I think the BBC are absolutely right. Do you want to see it? Will you watch the Eugene thing? Roy said, when you said royal wedding, I thought you and Ronnie were going to get married. Absolutely not. No, you're having a laugh, aren't you? I went out with Ronnie it's about 27 years ago now. Absolutely no way we'd ever get back together. No way at all. We hate each other, actually. We've got a hate-hate relationship. He hates me and I hate him. But for some reason, because of the period of time we know each other, we continue to talk. It's true. And I do not fancy him in any way, shape or form. And I think you'll find he says the same about me as well. Once you lose that fancying thing, there's no point, is there? What are we going to do for the rest of our lives? Sit there and watch the bleeding telly? I don't think so. Eugene, isn't that a man's name? Have I got it wrong? Is it Eugenie or Eugene? I'm not quite sure. Charles and Camilla, never adulterer, and the horse. Stop that. The Americans would love it. You're right, Wendy. The Americans would love to watch it on the telly. I'm sure they would. But I can't see that being very big here. I can't see many people watching that one. On the subject of the phones, Wendy says, I have very small hands. Silly to think that, though. It's never crossed my mind. No, I'm sure it wouldn't have done. But, I mean, no one at Apple... I'm sure no one at Apple has thought, oh, let's make a phone that won't fit women's hands. You just wouldn't do that, would you? I mean, stupid people. All right, let's do today's birthdays. It's nearly time for my dinner. Look, it's 20 to 1. Gosh. 5 birthdays today. Angela Waters, who's with us this morning, is a very young, 51 years old today. Happy birthday, Angela. She's already had her cake. She's got a daughter and a girlfriend there as well. Happy birthday to you, Angela. All right. Jason Delph, 35 now. Are you really? I know Jason from when I used to DJ at a place in Coventry called Rainbows, which is that's got sold and closed and reopened as something else now. And the drive home from there used to do me in. 3 o'clock in the morning on that. Was it? I can't remember the name of the road now. Coming from Birmingham. M40, then across on the M4. Oh, that was a killer, that drive, I tell you. Happy birthday, Jason. Hope you're well. Alexi, who I work with in Central Station. He's a lovely chap, proper Tory boy. He's 26 years old, all the way from Finland. Happy birthday to Alexi. It's a real pleasure to work with you, Alexi. It is. Happy birthday to you. Steve Harriman. Happy birthday to Steve this morning. All right, standing in front of a bright yellow car there, I can see there. And Marcus Rogers. Good morning, Marcus. Long time no see. Happy birthday to you as well, sir. Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Angela, Jason, Alexi, Stephen, Marcus. Happy birthday to you. On this Sunday, the 16th of September 2018. Okay, that's it for the show today. Thanks very much for joining me. As I say, I may go out to the pictures later and see the Michael Caine film. I haven't decided yet. But don't forget the Bodyguard tonight at 9 o'clock on BBC One Colour. Enjoy your Sunday. Thanks so much for watching and listening to the show. Bye-bye.